Hey there, it's Gone Girl. There's a lot of talk going on right now in my YouTube community about weaponizing SA and DV. Um, some of you who've known me all along since my channel started, you know my story um, about SA and my family. My stepdad had gotten me pregnant when I was 15, and I left home and I never looked back. But my sister, when she was 17, he got her pregnant too, at such time as we put him in jail. We actually put him in jail for my sister because basically we came forward and said that we'll all come forward unless you plead guilty to what you did to my sister. So, having said that, he did plead guilty, but he didn't get much time because in Canada they don't give them as much time as they do in the States. I wish they did, but they don't. Um, but having said that, people are talking about child abuse, but unless you're living it, you don't have a right to talk about it because it's different for each victim. There's not a one brush coats all. It doesn't work that way. Every situation's different, and when you're a child and you're groomed from a very young age, you you think it's normal. You don't. It's one of those things until you don't know that it's not normal. Um, because it's just part of your upbringing, just like with domestic violence. If you brought up with it as a child, you just think it's normal. You may not like it, you hate it and all that, but you don't. It's so normalized that unless you're on the outside looking in, you don't really it's horrible and you hate it, but you don't realize as a kid that it doesn't go on in everybody's house. Same with child essay. It's exactly the same way. You don't know that it's not normal until you are out of the picture and you go, oh my God, this does not happen in everybody's house. Unfortunately, it goes on in too many households nowadays. Well, it always did. I say nowadays, but it actually always did. In my day, they didn't really do much about it um, when we were kids because we were both, my brother and I were victims. Um, in our case, it was hidden by the church, you know, as it is in most cases, of course. You know, that's why the Catholic Church has such a bad reputation because all they do is move them around. They just move them from church to church. My dad being a deacon, he went from church to church. Even though the church knew what was going on, and it just, you know, they just covered it up. But I think I'm really disgusted in what's going on right now because it's being weaponized against certain people. In fact, it's right now it's being weaponized against a parent who actually turned the guy in. You know how many mothers don't? They they hide behind it. The mothers go, oh no, they're so ashamed or not that they or scared or not that they protect the pedophile. And that happens more and more than you know. Um, and the person that this is getting weaponized against is a wonderful mother who actually put the guy in prison. And why are we condemning this mother for doing the right thing? I would have given my right arm, my left arm, my right and left foot if the mothers in my situation had spoken up. But they don't. There's more mothers that do nothing than do something. And Kluminati did something, and she put him in prison. But now they're weaponizing it. And the other one that we call Beej, she has a domestic violence report, but she came out here and said it didn't happen. So we don't know whether it happened or not. But the thing is, it's not a game. These two very serious situations of domestic violence or childhood SA are they're so devastating and they're so wrong that people shouldn't make light of it. They shouldn't. And it shouldn't be weaponized. Um, my stepdad, he was very violent. My sister and I, we had a gun put to our face. Or I walked into the gun because I took the gun out of his hand. And I just said, "You're not going to shoot me. You're just not." And I was only 15. Like, I mean, what did I know? I just, everybody else was sort of cowering at the table, at the kitchen table. So I stupidly, and it was stupid, I got up into his face and I said, "You're not going to shoot me. Give me the damn gun." And I yanked the gun out of his house. And my sister and I, we ran to the school and called the police. The only stupidity thing that I did was I still had the gun in my hand when we called the police at the payphone at the school. But it changes you. When it comes to any kind of violence, whether it's sexual or whether it's domestic violence of any other kind, it changes you. It changes who you are. You never become the person you were supposed to become because it changes you. It alters your DNA. It alters everything about the way you think and the way you react to other people. Unless you have, like, I was lucky. I had a lot of therapy. My brother didn't get therapy. I should have got him therapy, and then he ended up ending his life because he didn't get the therapy that I got. Out of all of us, I got the most therapy. I don't know why. I was just lucky that when I asked for help, I got help. That doesn't always happen nowadays because the the system is broken. In fact, the government spends more money on the pedophiles than they do on counseling and stuff for the victims. It's just the way it works. I don't know, but I'm really sickened by what's going on today on these YouTube streets. It. I don't think we should weaponize any kind of trauma against anybody. And I also, on the flip side, I don't think people should be saying that they were victims if they weren't. Because I'm telling you, nobody would want to be a real victim of either SA or DV. It's not something you sign up for. It shouldn't be something that you throw out there when it hasn't happened to you. It's not something to use as an excuse for your behavior if in fact none of it happened to you. Plus, it's a slap in the face for us victims that actually were victims. And that shouldn't happen. But anyways, that's the way I feel today. I got a little triggered today watching it, which breaks my heart because I am not the only victim that got triggered over what's going on these YouTube streets. People are not remembering that there's every walk of life here on YouTube. There's victims, there's perpetrators, there's people who nothing has happened to them in that way. There's young people, old people. It's a total, well, just a huge multi-faceted world on YouTube. So the best you could do is please let the sun shine no matter where you are, because it comes from the inside out. Please be good to each other. Be kind to each other. And hug your kids. This is Gone Girl. She's gone.